Before we get started with today's show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Tavis Smiley and get updates on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Tavis Smiley. By the way, should you miss any part of today's program or want to catch up on previous shows, you can always visit thetavisSmileyShow.com. That's thetavisSmileyShow.com or wherever you get your podcast and listen to the Tavis Smiley podcast version of this live program at your leisure. Another great show on tap for you today. In our second hour, two conversations. Up first.
If you're still hearing us and you haven't left yet, please leave. I hate to say this, but I just don't have enough body bag.
The calmness before a storm is deafening.
As Hurricane Katrina was approaching, we knew this was going to be a catastrophe.
I didn't want to leave because I didn't know what we was going to be coming back to. I just was praying.
There is a house
People won't realize how big Katrina was.
Is too big to turn. It's gonna hit us.
They call the rising sun.
It's not a normal hurricane. Something's wrong.
And my heart just sank. We have a breach in the levee.
We have rain inside the Superdome. I repeat, rain inside the dome.
In 3 minutes, it went from the ground to the roof.
A lot of people suffered, and a lot of people suffered needlessly.
Just let me know y'all living, you heard me?
People coming out of one bad situation, but they didn't know they was coming to another hell.
We expected FEMA to come in, but there was no help.
I told the guys, go find whatever boat you can find. We went and did what we had to do to try to save people's lives.
This community was not wanting to go out and just loot. There was people trying to survive.
You got a governor. What is they doing? Sincerely, bro.
That's not something you ever want to do, to tell the troops to shoot civilians. Governor, that's your people.
They just let us down. To them, we wasn't even human no more. But people from New Orleans, we knew how to survive. And this is supposed to be the greatest country on the planet.
In order to prevent something, you got to understand why it happened in the first place.
There is a house.
On the top side of hour two, we'll be joined by Academy Award-nominated filmmaker Tracy A. Curry, director of the new Nat Geo series Hurricane Katrina: Race Against Time. The 5-part documentary is exec produced by Ryan Coogler. Hard to believe it's been 20 years already. That's the top side of hour two. On the B side of hour two.
I was just checking to see how you were after that bomb went off in our face last night.
Ready to rock.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
You are the best, or I would not have selected you. Our mission could prevent another 9/11. Foreign players planning a Chernobyl-level event here in Los Angeles. Nobody can know what we're working on.
You've done a few undercover runs.
Yeah.
Oh! Leonard, it's about improv.
You almost shot me. Yeah, but I didn't.
I thought it looked really good, man. Really good.
I know, right?
We're working to stop a weapon of mass destruction.
They were just here.
Hang on.
One mistake, we are dead.
Showtime.
You okay?
Oh,
No.
you care about me.
No.
That's very sweet.
They don't play by a rule book. Why should we?
I'll play this however you want to play it. Whatever the consequences.
You were acting like you had a death wish. Oh my God.
Boy, that got a little salty.
If I'm going out saving something.
A conversation with Elliot Knight and Uli Latukefu, co-stars of the new Amazon Prime series countdown on the backside of hour two. Going to be a spirited second hour. In our third hour, two more conversations. Up first, renowned doula and founder of Mama Glow, Latham Thomas, takes us inside her new audio book, Peaceful Parenting, Mindful Meditations for Pregnancy, Parenthood, and Promoting Harmony at Home. On the B side of hour three, we're going to squeeze an 80-pound show into a 40-pound bag today, one of those days. On the backside of our three, noted author Diane McKinney-Whetstone on her new book, Family Spirit, a novel which drops today. But in this first hour, let's talk politics with commentator, journalist, novelist, and winner of the Pulitzer Prize for commentary, now director of the Center for Urban Journalism in the School of Global Journalism and Communication at Morgan State University in Baltimore City, Leonard Pitts Jr. Before I bring Leonard on, let me just play one more clip for you to frame this hour with Leonard. We all saw the news yesterday. Donald Trump has sent troops. They're already in D.C., everywhere now. As I said yesterday, Muriel Bowser didn't ask for them in D.C., black woman mayor. Karen Bass didn't ask for them here in L.A., black woman mayor. Put a pin in that for now. But Donald Trump yesterday said he ain't even done yet.
We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say. We're going to have a tremendous success in what we're doing. Other cities are hopefully watching this. They're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching. And maybe they'll clean up.
We're going to clean it up real quick, as they say, real quickly. Leonard Pitts Jr. for the hour. I can't wait to hear this. You hear me say all the time, one of my favorite guests, and nobody turns a phrase quite like Leonard Pitts Jr. I'm going to let him loose for the hour when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. That's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's one question every couple needs to answer. What if something happens to us? Kids, a house, a life you've built, but no estate plan? That's a risk you don't want to take. With Trust and Will, it's fast, secure, and easy to protect what matters most. Start your plan today at trustandwill.com. Use code RADIO to save 20%. Check it off your list. One less thing to worry about. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
All right, so much happening already. I haven't even gotten this thing off the ground yet. There is some sad breaking news, and I've yet to even commence the conversation with Leonard Pitts Jr. It was literally just a few weeks ago that we posted here at my home station in L.A. a happy birthday wish to Danielle Spencer. You all know Danielle Spencer, who played Dee on What's Happening. She turned 60 on August the 11th, and news comes today that she has passed away. Dee from What's Happening, Danielle Spencer, is dead at the age of 60. The former child star was best known, of course, for her role as the sharp-tongued Dee Thomas on the ABC sitcom. According to, I said August 11th. Today is August 11th, correct? Yesterday. She passed away yesterday. Her birthday, I got my dates confused here. We wished her a happy birthday back in June. That's what it was. So her birthday was June 24th, or is June 24th. So on June 24th, I recall wishing her a happy 60th birthday. Literally just, a month and a half ago or so. And she passed away, we were told, yesterday at the age of 60. And this news is just getting to us. Confirmed by Haywood Spencer, who played Dwayne, of course, on What's Happening. So he has confirmed, and in a lengthy post, just read a part of it. We have lost a daughter, sister, family member, What's Happening cast member, veterinarian. She was, in fact, a licensed veterinarian, animal rights proponent, and healer and cancer heroine. Our shero, Danielle, is loved. She will be missed in this form and forever embraced. So we do know at one point she was suffering, battling cancer, but no word yet on what the exact cause of her death was. But Danielle Spencer, who played Dee on What's Happening, has made her transition apparently yesterday, announced today, at the age of 60. So there you have that. Sad news, but I want to get that to you right away since it just landed on my desk, and it is my way to get stuff to you as quickly as I can, even if it interrupts the flow of the show. So our guest in this first hour is Leonard Pitts Jr. And one last thing before I get to Leonard, we mentioned, of course, that we played for you a clip from Donald Trump saying he ain't done yet. That's my crib note on it. He's not done yet. He mentioned a bunch of other cities, but he's going to use D.C. as a test case, if you will, and then we will see where they go from there. And he said we're going to clean it up real quickly. So Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., has had something to say about all this. Before I play that clip, I am told by NBC News that Bowser is in a meeting right now with Pam Bondi of the Justice Department, of course. Pam Bondi's in this meeting. Muriel Bowser's in the meeting. FBI Director Kash Patel is in the meeting. There are others in the meeting, including D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith. And they are talking about how this is all going to work and how Donald Trump is going to take over the D.C. Police Department. So there are a lot of folk in the meeting as we speak right now trying to figure out how all this works. But the mayor of D.C., Muriel Bowser, has had this to say.
Though we pay taxes, in fact, we pay more than most states per capita. We're not a state. We don't control the D.C. National Guard. We don't have senators or full autonomy. Limited home rule gives the federal government the ability to intrude on our autonomy in many ways. My message to residents is this. We know that access to our democracy is tenuous. That is why you have heard me and many Washingtonians before me advocate for full statehood for the District of Columbia. We are American citizens. Our families go to war. We pay taxes and we uphold the responsibilities of citizenship. And while this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past that we're totally surprised. I did not know that the request of MPD would be made. I believed that they would announce that they were going to call up the National Guard. I had one brief phone call related to the National Guard issue over the weekend. So we're going to work every day to get this emergency put to an end. I'll call it the so-called emergency, and continue to do our work.
Leonard, you've been awfully patient. A lot of stuff we had to get out there to set this show up today and set this hour up. So first of all, thank you for your patience, my friend. Always an honor to talk to you. For starters, how are you today?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. You know, another day in dystopia.
Yeah. He started already. His first answer, another day in dystopia. Yeah. All right. What to your mind, Leonard, is this all? Just a broad question for starters. What is this all about, man? What is this all about?
This is you have to understand what they're doing is a proxy for race. It's almost always about race with these folks. It's no coincidence that you've chosen cities that are Democratic in character, and that I think every city he named, if I'm not mistaken, has a black mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to also understand that, as a number of people have said, whereas the previous great conflict in this country was geographically very stark between North and South, this conflict is more town and country. You know, white folks have moved out to, the farm country or whatever, and the cities are more, hotbeds of diversity, more diverse populations, and that's where the conflict lies. So basically, he's playing to his base, which tends to live outside the cities in these suburbs, exurbs, and rural areas, and basically telling them, I'm going to get these rowdy, Negroes and brown people and gay people and all the rest of these folks. I'm going to get them cleaned up. I'm going to get them taken care of. It's so obvious. It's so painfully obvious that it troubles me that more people aren't speaking on it or seeing it in its true light. The whole idea that that DC is so bad and so troubled that you need to call out the military, and you're the same guy who refused to call out the military when a bunch of white people stormed the United States Capitol, and the Capitol was breached for the first time since 1812. I mean, come on.
Mm.
You don't need to be a Phi Beta Kappa or a historical, scholar to understand this, to see what's happening here.
Yeah. I want to just put a quick, make a quick note here, a programming note. For those who were listening to our show yesterday, I am fascinated, as I'm sure you are. I have a really bright audience, and I'm sure they've already connected these dots without me having to say it. You recall the first hour of our show yesterday, and we had two brilliant scholars on, two bright guys. But the argument in the first hour yesterday, y'all recall, was about what? Do you remember? It was about white animus, about the impact of white animus and how we read too much into white animus. That was yesterday's first hour. Here comes Leonard Pitts a day later saying the exact opposite, that it's almost always about race. Well, that was my point yesterday. So I'm sure Leonard didn't hear the first hour yesterday, but it's just fast. We had a deep dialogue yesterday with two scholars who have a new book out, two black scholars with a new book out, Adolph Reed being one of them, Leonard. And I love Adolph, but yes, we just had a spirited debate in the first hour about the extent to which we are over-reading and putting too much on white animus all these years later. That it's not just about race. It is in part about class. I conceded that argument. You can't talk about one without the other. But to the extent that they are arguing, Adolph and his co-author, arguing in this new text that we put too much on white animus, that we're reading too much into it. That's really not the source or the bane of our existence these days. And again, here you come a day later taking my position that it's certainly with these people, it's almost always about race. So I just wanted to point that out for the audience so they can just see the 180 we've done from the first hour yesterday. A day later, I digress on that for now. Here's what Donald Trump would say if he were on this program. He basically said to the nation yesterday, you're saying it's always about race, Leonard. He'd say, no, Mr. Pitts. It's about crime. And we need to get crime under control. Yeah, I love the blacks. But these blacks engage in too much crime. It's about crime. I'm trying to bring crime down. I'm trying to save our cities. And yet you and I know, and the data is everywhere. Over the last 24 hours, I've been amazed at all these articles that have come out that have talked about that crime is down by like 30%. It's significantly down in D.C. So it ain't about crime, Leonard, although that's the frame they're putting it in.
Yeah, and again, it gets to this whole thing of playing to the exurbs, playing to the suburbs, playing to the rural areas, that the cities are these hotbeds of crime and immorality, and, also, big surprise, predominantly people of darker hues, and we got to get it under control. It's the same old narrative, and it gets to this whole thing of how do we define crime in this country. Apparently, we do not define crime as assaulting police officers on the steps of the United States Capitol and breaking windows and trespassing on what's supposed to be sacred ground. That's not crime.
Mm-hmm.
That's as one Congress person put it. That's a tour group.
Yeah,
you remember that? That's not crime.
It's a tour group.
That's tourism.
That's
tourism.
Mm-hmm.
That's excited tourism. But some dude bro from Doge gets, I guess, assaulted on the street or whatever, and oh my God, that requires the influx of the military.
Yeah,
it could not. I keep saying this could not be more obvious. And frankly, I wish that I agreed with your guest from yesterday.
Yeah, because
sometimes always decrying this, you begin to feel like the carpenter for whom every problem is a nail.
Mm-hmm.
Every problem requires a hammer.
You
start asking yourself, okay, am I becoming that?
Yeah.
But the evidence is what the evidence is, and let's face it, these people, they're not even bothering to hide it anymore. They used to, 10 years ago, we spoke about dog whistles. Now we got dog, foghorns.
Yeah.
It's just...
Not dog whistles, dog foghorns. Oh, Leonard Pitts kills me. Yeah.
It just couldn't be more obvious.
What if I said to you, and I raised this issue, I think maybe not yesterday, maybe last week with somebody, I can't recall, but I raised this issue recently on this program, and I want to come back to it now given what we're talking about in this conversation. What if I said to you that in America right now, the rule of law is dead? And if not dead, the rule of law is so tenuous, to your point, that they determine what the law is, when the law has been broken, and they rewrite the rules about law, which is essentially the same thing, that the rule of law is dead in this country. If I say that to you, and I think I just did, you'd say what?
I'd say if the rule of law isn't dead, it sure smells funny, and it hasn't moved in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a thing online with one of my readers. We were talking, and I did a poll actually on Threads, a social media thing.
Right.
And I asked, just for how many of us believe that there's going to be an election in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And most people were very skeptical, as am I. But more than one person pointed out, well, there has to be an election in 4 years because presidents can't cancel elections. That's constitutionally mandated, and elections are run locally, which suggested to me that there's still a lot of us who don't get it. The rules only matter if we all agree to obey them.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get to a four-way stop while driving down the street, well, the rules only matter if we all agree to be bound by that stop sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we decide we ain't bound by that stop sign and nobody holds us to account, then you have chaos. So the whole idea that the rule of law will hold, or that there will be an election because the rules say there should be an election, tells me that people still don't understand what time it is in this country, even as our cities are being occupied by military forces.
Yeah. So I'm going to come back to a point you made a moment ago. Matter of fact, let me just tee this up. Look, I got about 45 seconds. Would not be fair to give Leonard 45 seconds to respond to this. Let me just tee up where I want to go when we come forward. And this is based on some things that Leonard Pitts Jr. and Mary Bowser, the mayor of D.C., have already said to us in this first half hour. I want to ask Leonard about this black mayor issue. I've said on this program many times, I keep bringing our attention to this because I want y'all to stay focused on this and see how this thing turns. It has been the case for the last number of years that the four largest cities in this country have had black mayors. Houston, Sylvester Turner has passed away. But Sylvester Turner was mayor of Houston. You had a black mayor in Chicago, Brandon Johnson. You have a black mayor in L.A., Karen Bass. Black mayor in New York, Eric Adams. And you can go down the list to those cities that Trump mentioned in this clip earlier, Baltimore, D.C., et cetera, et cetera. Pretty much all those cities have African-American mayors, as Leonard said earlier. There's something there that I want to probe. The first is whether or not we are about to see a complete changeover in these major cities where all these black mayors, many of them who are now in trouble, are out, and mayors who are not black come in. That's the first thing I want to get Leonard's take on. The second thing is how we respond to people who say that we're making it about race just because these cities happen to have black mayors. But the larger issue is that for Republicans, that Democrats run cities. And Democrats have run these cities in the ground. It is the case at this moment that many of these cities have black mayors. But what about the broader argument beyond the black mayor thing? That it is Democrats who run urban centers, and urban centers have been run in the ground by Democrats. And this is Trump's opportunity to show Democrats that Republicans know better how to run cities. And then there's the issue of statehood. I've been talking about this for 30 plus years of my career with every mayor of D.C. over that 30-year period, and we're still talking about D.C. statehood. A lot more to cover with Leonard Pitts Jr. when we come forward. Pulitzer Prize winner on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Detroit, Michigan residents want Lodge Elementary School torn down after 15 years of abandonment. Locals like Jared Tucker say it's an eyesore and hope the city adds it to its demolition list.
And you got this building right here that's been closed and abandoned. It's just so much more we can do with that.
The West Side School near renovated Heckle Park has become a hotspot for crime and dumping. A 12-year-old black girl died by suicide at Sacred Heart Medical Center in Spokane, Washington after slipping out of a pediatric unit not designed for psychiatric care. 15 nurses were fired. Sarah June Niambona had a history of self-harm, but staff monitoring was reduced days before her death. And Monday marked 60 years since the Watts riots erupted in Los Angeles, sparked by a rough DUI arrest of Marquette Fry. The unrest lasted 5 days, left 34 dead and over 1,000 injured. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Buy more, save more at Scandinavian Designs Furniture. For a limited time, save $200 instantly for every $800 you spend in store. Complete your look for less or splurge on something you love. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at ScandinavianDesigns.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Angels opened their 3-game series against the Dodgers Monday night with a 7-4 win in Anaheim. The Angels are 4-0 against the Dodgers this season. Things are not going well for the Dodgers. Their 12-19 slump since July 4th is starting to catch up to them. Monday night's loss dropped the Dodgers' lead over San Diego to 1 game in the NL West Division. On July 2nd, San Diego was 8.5 games behind the Dodgers. Rams head coach Sean McVay is not sure when quarterback Matthew Stafford will be able to practice with the team. McVay also is not sure if Stafford will be ready for the Rams season opener September 7th against Houston. It appears the alarm has finally sounded at Rams headquarters about Stafford's health. The 37-year-old Stafford has been diagnosed with an aggravated disc in his lower back. Stafford was supposed to make his practice debut on Monday but did not feel right. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
If you are a black American of a certain age, you know the theme song from the hit show What's Happening. And in case you missed it earlier, we just announced a little while ago that Danielle Spencer, the child star of What's Happening, passed away apparently yesterday at the age of 60. She had, in fact, been battling cancer, although we have not been told as yet what the cause of death was. But Danielle Spencer, who just turned 60 back in June, passed away yesterday, August 11th, at the age of 60. And again, if you are of a certain age, you'll recall Dee and Raj and Dwayne and Rerun on What's Happening. And so our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Danielle Spencer, amazing child actor. That sharp wit and that tongue of hers made her a star on What's Happening. She went on to become a veterinarian, licensed veterinarian, spent her life working with animals. But Danielle Spencer has passed away at the age of 60. There you have that. Our guest in this hour is Leonard Pitts Jr., Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist, best-selling novelist, and anything else he wants to do, and running an amazing program for students over at Morgan State right about now in Baltimore City. Please always to be in conversation with Leonard Pitts Jr. We've been talking about Donald Trump's latest nonsense or bit of nonsense. So he has taken over D.C., the police department, as I mentioned earlier. Mayor Bowser, this meeting I think is still ongoing. I'm live on the air, so I don't know if it's ended as yet. But the mayor has been in a meeting this morning with Pam Bondi of the Justice Department, the AG, along with the FBI Director Kash Patel, the D.C. Police Chief Pamela Smith, and others, trying to figure out how this is all going to work. But Donald Trump, as president, has used his powers to take over the District of Columbia, and they are now basically being run. Their law enforcement apparatus is now being run by Donald Trump and the federal government. I said earlier that they didn't want troops in D.C. Crime is down in D.C., actually. The numbers are incontrovertible. They didn't want these troops there. Karen Bass didn't want them here in L.A., and that didn't stop him. So Donald Trump is clearly targeting cities that happen to have African-American mayors. And so I raised two issues a moment ago that I want Leonard to opine on as he will. The first is that many of these black mayors of these major cities, some of them are in trouble. Karen Bass certainly is here in L.A. There's a big story in the New York Times the other day, though. Yesterday, New York Times had a big piece about the fact that Donald Trump, in fact, has helped turn her fortunes. She was in trouble about those L.A. fires. Trump shows up and gave her a whipping post that she's used quite nicely. So perhaps this has turned her fortunes. We don't know. I haven't seen any polling data of late that suggests that Karen Bass can, in fact, pull this off a second time around. We shall see. But Karen Bass is in trouble in L.A. Clearly, Eric Adams, a guest on this program just last week, is in trouble in New York City. Brandon's having a hard time in Chicago. So these cities may not have black mayors in the not-too-distant future. That's the first point, Leonard. Opine as you will. And secondly, how do we respond? Because clearly they're going to be pointing the finger back at us and saying, there goes Leonard Pitts Jr., there goes Tavis Smiley, making issues about race again just because these cities happen to have black mayors right now. But the larger issue is that Democrats don't know how to run cities. It's all yours, Leonard Pitts Jr.
Well, it's kind of funny because when I hear this argument about Democrats don't know how to run cities, I flash on the fact that if you look at the 10 poorest, least well-educated, least healthy states in the country, I believe it's 8 or 9 of them will be not just in Republican control, i.e. governor, senators, administration, all down the line, but have been under Republican governance for 50 years. And the secondary thing, which gets to your first point, is Karen Bass is in trouble. Okay, Eric Adams is in trouble. Okay. And that comes with the territory of being the mayor, being the leader, frankly, of anything. But isn't it interesting how ready people are when a black mayor or a black woman or a woman, period, gets in trouble or has some political issue to say, well, that tars the entire class.
Oh, yeah.
That means black people shouldn't be mayors.
That's right.
Karen Bass is in trouble, or women shouldn't be mayors because Karen Bass is in trouble. Nobody says that when the fact that Donald Trump is the worst president in the history of the United States,
nobody said, does
not mean that our next president would not be a white man.
Exactly.
Nobody's ever going to say that.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say that. So we've got to deal with this silly whammy of anytime a black person gets in trouble, well, there it goes for all of us.
Yeah.
That's why Jackie Robinson had to be Jackie Robinson, because if he hadn't been able to be Jackie Robinson, there wouldn't have been a Hank Aaron.
That's right.
There wouldn't be any of the rest because he had to be dang near perfect. And I refuse that burden. Jackie bore it all. Jackie, I don't want to say died for our sins, but Jackie bore our Jackie, you know what I'm saying?
I got
Jackie did that for all of us.
Yeah.
And I reject this thing that Karen Bass has to be Wonder Woman, and or else we'll never have another black mayor or never have another woman mayor in Los Angeles. I mean, if that's the case, Tom Bradley was mayor of Los Angeles for what, 5 terms?
20 years. 5 terms.
I grew up under Tom Bradley. He's widely considered one of the best mayors in the city's history, one of the best mayors period. If that's the case, then hey, maybe Karen Bass should get a pass.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. Based on Tom Bradley.
There you go.
You see how silly.
It's silly it is. Yeah.
This all is. I mean, Republic. To get back to Republican governance. I'd rather live in Los Angeles on Karen Bass's worst day than in Mississippi on its best.
No, of course, Leonard Pitts is from LA too, so there's that part. But it does in fact appear that Donald Trump is targeting these cities. We could agree on that, can't we not? He's targeting these cities?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is very intentional.
Very intentional, yeah. So statehood. You heard Mira Bowser in the clip we played earlier going again on why D.C. deserves statehood. You've been hearing this argument as long as I've been hearing it, and literally I've covered every mayor of D.C. for the last 30-plus years. I can go all the way back to Marion Barry and Sharon Pratt Kelly and just run the list. Who's the one that wore the bow tie all the time, Leonard. The bow tie wearing mayor. And
Walter Williams.
Yeah, there's. I mean,
Williams.
So many. I just been
White
so
Williams,
so many. I mean, I've covered all these mayors over the course of my tenure in the media, and they've all talked about, of course, the need for D.C. statehood. And so here, Mayor Bowser is raising this issue again. Are we ever going to get this issue addressed in our lifetime? It's always going to be this way, Leonard.
I doubt that we are, because again, you got to deal with the fact that giving statehood to the district means giving more power to Democrats, and Republicans are not going to want to countenance that.
Yeah.
And you get to the obvious and the age old argument. This country was founded supposedly in reaction to the idea that Britain wanted to impose taxation without representation.
Mm-hmm.
So how historically ironic is it that 249 years after the founding of the country, its capital is home to 700,000 people, who must suffer taxation
without representation. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. For a long time, I haven't paid attention recently, but for a long time, that was on the D.C. license plates. Every license plate in D.C. has on it taxation without representation. I don't know if they're still rocking that in D.C. these days, but every time I go to D.C., I notice that. They've done that for so many years. On all the license plates, it says, as you probably noticed, taxation without representation. When we come forward with Leonard Pitts Jr., I want to talk about another issue that I've raised perennially, and I keep raising it because I want this audience to be fully aware that this list keeps growing every single day. And you know where I'm going. These black people who supported Donald Trump this last time around, you know the data. More black folk voted for him every time he ran. In 2016, 2020, 24, the number of black support went up, not unlike the brown support. But I'm talking about black people right now, because Donald Trump is showing once again, every day in every way, that he is targeting African Americans. Leonard mentioned earlier the deafening silence of those who are, who really aren't saying what they ought to be saying about Donald Trump targeting black cities, targeting cities with black mayors. We got to raise that. We got to sound that alarm and ring that bell. But beyond that, I want to talk to these Negroes who voted for Donald Trump, including the ones in my own family. As I say every time I raise this, what is it going to take for you to acknowledge that Donald Trump is targeting black people and doing everything he can to disenfranchise them politically, economically, socially, and culturally? It's real as rain. When are y'all Negroes going to acknowledge it? Let's talk about that when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Leonard Pitts Jr. I try not to ask two questions at once, so I'm going to do it once again because Leonard Pitts Jr. can't handle it. My first question, because these things are connected, I think. My first question is, as I suggested a moment ago, what's it going to take for these black people who supported Donald Trump to acknowledge they made a mistake, to come out and say that Donald Trump is, in fact, targeting black people? I don't expect Byron Donald to say that, but there's a long list of Negroes, some rather well known, some in our families, who supported Donald Trump, and I think the time has come. I mean, this list just gets longer and longer every day. No police accountability, attacks on DE&I, going after the Blacksonian. I mean, I could do this all day long. These raids, these ICE raids targeting brown and black people. Now Donald Trump targeting cities with black mayors. Your thoughts on that first, Leonard? And I guess the companion question to that is whether or not Donald Trump, wait for it, is going to suffer any backlash for this kind of move.
Well, the short answer to the second question is no.
That's what I thought. I saw that coming. Yeah.
In terms of the first question, I've always found it to be true that the ability to acknowledge that one is wrong is in inverse proportion to how much of your prestige and ego you have invested in being right. And so, these folks took this position and have held this position, and I don't think that they are going to be capable of giving up that position. To me, the mark of an intellectual, of an intelligent person, of somebody that I want to debate with, somebody that I can reason with, and somebody who can admit, okay, I was wrong, or okay, at least that part of my argument was incorrect. Mm-hmm. Just somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who can give and take.
Yeah.
But we don't have that in our political dialogue right now. We simply do. It's hard at any time, but I think it's been more difficult to find now. So I don't expect those folk to admit that that they were wrong. I just don't see it happening. And the other thing that you got to realize is that what I call honorary whiteness is a hell of a drug. And I think a lot of these folks are high on the notion of honorary whiteness.
Yeah.
The notion that they can be accepted, the idea that they can be in the club. They don't always have to be with the rest of us striving and struggling and demanding and arguing and complaining and, trying to get our piece of the American pie. They can be among the folks at the country club. No. The notion that they can do that is a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think it's hard for them to give up. I don't think they're going to give up.
So they're not going to acknowledge they were wrong. They're not going to admit that Donald Trump is in fact targeting black people. And we can expect no backlash for Donald Trump targeting black people. So here's the exit question for Leonard when we come forward. How much worse then does the targeting get? We've already agreed in this conversation, Leonard and I have, that black folk are being targeted in a variety of ways. And not a whole lot's being said about that. How much worse does the targeting get? Put another way, how much worse is it going to have to get for somebody to say something, for somebody to say Donald Trump is going after black folk? That's our exit question when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley. 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? You may be able to reduce your risk by managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure, being physically active, eating healthy, and exercising your mind. To learn more about AD, the importance of early diagnosis and intervention, and a potential treatment option, visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
Here comes the brand new flavor in your head.
Race, social justice, sports, politics, art, music, culture. We do it all on the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show. If you're not tuning in, then you are definitely missing out. It's the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show, weekdays from 2 to 4 only on unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Like a brand new flavor in your head. Yeah.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
Leonard Pitts Jr., my friend and brother Lyle, love Lyle. Lyle Gregory just reminded me that the last time you were on this program, he wrote it down. He ain't forgot it. He said, Tavis, Leonard Pitts Jr. is dropping bars again, but the last time he was on, he gave us this gem. The whiteness you thought you had was only on consignment. That's what you got folk writing your lines down, man, and they remember them. This is a listener who's telling me that's what he said the last time he was on, that the whiteness you thought you had was only on consignment. He did say that last time he was on, and today he's gone a little deeper with honorary whiteness. Leonard Pitts, again, always on point. I've got 2 minutes left here. 3.5 minutes left, Leonard. I want to give it to you. So we're going to talk at the top of the second hour, as I mentioned earlier, with Academy Award-nominated filmmaker Tracy A. Curry, director of the new Nat Geo series Hurricane Katrina, Race Against Time. Hard to believe. It's been 20 years since Katrina. Why do I raise that? Because it was 20 years ago that George W. Bush abandoned black folk and left them to die on rooftops in New Orleans. Bush abandons black people, but Donald Trump is now targeting black people. I'm not sure there's a distinction or a difference there. I'm not sure whether one's worse than the other, abandoning or targeting, but Donald Trump is surely targeting black people. How much worse, with the last 2 minutes I have, Leonard Pitts Jr., does the targeting of black people by Donald Trump get?
Well, the targeting has become more obvious, and the fig leaf has become more threadbare. As we've watched this go on. So I think the only thing that's left is for him to call it out by name. In other words, stop using proxies, saying the cities are your problem, crime is your problem. The only next step, and I'll be curious to see if he takes this, is to say black people are your problem. Latinos are your problem. Because I mean, you get what I'm saying. He said this by proxy in every way in every other way that he can.
Yeah.
So the only thing left is to see if they feel emboldened enough.
Let me
to
follow.
say that.
Let me follow you. I'm sorry not to cut you off. Just watching my time here. Let me follow you. If Donald Trump were to be bold enough, big enough, bad enough, brazen enough to say that Negroes are your problem, what happens next?
In terms of Negroes, I think most of them will still be with him. I don't have a lot of respect for the intelligence or the self-respect of those folks. I think Herschel Walker would find a way to make that okay in his we'll call it his mind.
Wow. And what happens to all the rest of us if he comes out and says that we are black people, we are the problem, we are America's problem? If he's bold enough to say that, then what happens to us?
Well, I mean, then it's open season on us.
Yeah.
Never underestimate the power and the influence of an American president and his words.
Leonard Pitts Jr., anybody like him, love him dearly, and always honored to have him on this program, particularly in moments like these when you need somebody to boldly and brazenly speak truth to power and to the powerless. I can always count on Leonard Pitts Jr., now running an amazing program for urban journalism at Morgan State University, towering public intellectual, brilliant commentator, Pulitzer Prize winner, best-selling novelist, all that and then some. I just call him friend. Leonard Pitts Jr., thank you, my friend. Good to have you back on this program.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Detroit, Michigan residents want Lodge Elementary School torn down after 15 years of abandonment. Locals like Jared Tuck